This is Bryce Burge, host of Your Soccer Passport. Thanks for listening to the following broadcast on Public House Media.
This is Rachel Mullins, host of Hashtag No Filter Friday, here on Public House Media. Thanks for listening to the following broadcast on Public House Media. Once you're done with this episode, I hope you'll come check out my new show, Hashtag No Filter Friday, where we talk about all of the sexual misconduct allegations swirling around Hollywood. A new show drops every Friday at 8:30 Pacific Standard Time. Don't forget to subscribe on iTunes so you'll never miss an episode of Hashtag No Filter Friday. Thanks again for checking out the following broadcast on Public House Media.
Why did you bother getting out of bed this morning? Think about that for a second. Why do you wake up most mornings? Do you leave the comfort of your warm, cozy bed? Is it because you want to? Is it because you have to? Are you trying to delay the moment of really having to do something with your life today? If you're like most people, you wake up with the insistent beeping of an alarm clock or the tone on a cell phone, and you're reluctantly dragging yourself out of bed because you have to go somewhere, because you have to do something, and because you have to go take care of someone else or whatever it is that it might be. Given the choice, you have to do something, but you always have a choice. Most people will continue sleeping on life. Did you know that? Good morning. Welcome to Public House Media. Welcome to Choose to Rise. My name is Kim Meyer, and I am so glad that you are here with me today. Today, we're talking about why you're getting out of bed in the morning. We're continuing our series with the book, The Miracle Morning, and we're working through some of the, last week we talked about positive affirmations, and today we're talking about why did you wake up this morning? The concept of I have to versus I get to. And what it really boils down to is that a lot of people in life are really focusing on having to do something. I have to eat better. I have to exercise. I have to get out of bed. I have to take my kids to school. I have to go to work. But when that concept of it really is, really puts it in a negative tone, in a negative mindset. And when productivity really comes down to a pre-perspective of things. With the eyes that we have our eyes to be super selective on what it is that we hear, what it is that we decide to do, and how the stance that we take on it when we do things. There's this dreadful I have to, but there's a thankful that says I get to. And so it's really about having a heart of gratitude and a mindset of positivity. And when you can have those kinds of things in your life, everything else just seems to fall into place. So moral of the story is don't confuse privilege with right. Start focusing on the good things and the gratitude of an attitude. So when you start thinking about things like in your life, when you start thinking about I have to do something, I have to do this to get that kind of mentality, it really is a struggle for us as moms and dads and people, adults of society, when we say we have to do something. A lot of people are I have to work out. How about you start saying I get to work out. I get to move my body. I get to make it stronger. I get to make myself feel good. I get to have energy because I move my body more. Instead of saying I have to make dinner, how about we get to feed my family and provide a healthy meal for them? I get to provide something that is going to help them feel better and feel nourished and help them grow in strong ways. Instead of saying I have to do the laundry, start saying things, I get to wear clean socks today. I get to serve my family, or I get to do things that are going to help provide for my family. Instead of saying I have to go to work today, let's start talking about I get to work my own business. I get to serve others in my community. I get to teach kids how to do XYZ. I get to serve, whatever your population is that you're doing in your job. I get to do things. I have to walk the dog. This is one for me. It's starting to get cold outside, and I'm a fair weather walker. Let's just put it that way. So one of the reasons why I work out every day in my own home is that I don't have to get up and go to a gym anywhere. I can do it right here in my house. And so pushing play on a workout that streams right to my anywhere I want to be is super helpful. So, I have to walk the dog. No, I get to spend time with my number one pup. I get to get outside and be in nature. I get to, love what God's created out here. I get to, stretch my legs and take a break in the day. Those are great, get to, have to, get to flip-flops. I have to pay my bills. No, I get to provide for my family. I get to live in a house with heat and water and electricity. I am super blessed to have this opportunity to live in a place like this. There's so many I have to's, I get to's, but when we really think about hard and we get out of the I have to mindset and get into the I get to heart set of gratitude and feeling grateful for the things that we have in our life, and really think about the people in the world that don't have the things that we have in our life, then that's where we can really start to having a more positive mind. So what is it that in your life that you are like, oh my goodness, I have to do this? How can you flip it today? How can you rearrange the concept of I have to I get to? And there's one more part in here that I want to, it's about belief. I want to share with you this morning. And it's all about how you believe your worth. For example, if you believe that you need 8 hours of sleep, you're to feel rested, but you're getting into bed at midnight, you have to wake up at 6. You're likely to tell yourself, gee, I only have to get 6 hours of sleep, but I need 8. You're going to feel exhausted regardless of how much you get. If you experimented kind of with this duration of sleep, it says as little as 4 hours, as many to 9 hours. If you say you have to have something, or that you have to do whatever, that you're going to tell yourself you're going to be exhausted, you're always going to be exhausted. Whether you got 4 hours of sleep, 6 hours of sleep, 7 hours of sleep, 8 hours of sleep, 9 hours of sleep, it didn't matter. The hours of sleep I got didn't change how I felt when the alarm went off in the morning, because I was telling myself before I went to bed that I wasn't going to get enough sleep and that I was going to feel exhausted in the morning. What you tell yourself is so important. So that's why we talked last time about affirmations and making sure you're building up a positive mindset and telling yourself the things that you're going to experience in the day. Because when you talk to yourself in that way and you build those kinds of things up, that's what shows up in your life. So when you are saying, I have to go to work, and having a negative connotation about it, you're going to have a crappy day. When you're saying, I have to do the laundry, you're never going to feel fun. It's never going to feel fun to you, and it's always going to be a chore. When you're saying, I have to do this or I have to do that, it's just not putting yourself in a positive state. So flip it, get over it and say, I get to do this. I get to serve the kids at my preschool. I get to be able to serve the people at my job. I get to be able to take my dog for a walk. I get to make sure my kids have clean laundry to put on in the day and look presentable at school. I get to do things for other people. I get to do things for myself. I get to work out and eat clean. I get to, provide energy. I get to fill my mind and heart set with positive things. When you can change the haves to the get tos, that's when you can flip that mindset and live a more positive, healthy life and rise up out of your current struggles and live your best life. When you flip it around, lots of things happen in life for the good. So thank you so much for joining this morning. Today was kind of short and sweet, but when you move it from, it really comes down to super simple. When you change it from I have to, I get to, things just work out a whole lot better for you. So this day we're going to continue our series of the morning, the Miracle Morning, and we're going to continue going. If you've not picked up this book yet, I highly encourage it. It's super thin to read. It doesn't take very long, and it takes about an hour on Audible to listen to, but it will change your life. And so last week we talked about affirmations. This morning we talked about flipping our mindset from have to get to. Later in the work, we're going to talk about the I am and the most powerful words. We're going to talk about do you see it, visualizations, and then we're also going to be talking about the Miracle Morning and a recap on Friday. So we're going to continue this process. I hope that you're enjoying this small little mini series in here about this book. Personal development has completely changed my life, and I get to share it with you, and that's the best part. I get to share it with you. So when you are changing your heart set, changing your mindset, growing your mind, and living a better life because of it, it's powerful. It's not something I thought I needed right away, but it's been the key to my success in living a better life, rising up out of my struggles, and living well. And so I highly encourage you that if you're not doing personal development every single day, whether it's with this podcast or more, I'm starting to read another book here by Tim Tebow. It's a celebration book or a leadership book. And so that's one of my other personal development today. And also my devotion and those kinds of things are always great to personal development. But it's definitely something that changes your life. So thank you so much for joining me, Janice and Carla. I appreciate you being here this morning with me. And drop below I'd love to have an interaction with you and communicate with you today. Any of you that are watching this video or in podcast version, if you drop it below wherever you're listening to this, what is it that you do for personal development? What is it that you do, and what is it maybe that you want to try doing? I'll drop a list of other podcasts that I listen to and other books that I'm reading, and I would love to interact with you and see what you're doing as well, and learn more, and maybe find some new books that I can read as well, and just grow your mind and grow your heart for the good, and how you can add more positivity to your heart and your mind so that you can have more positivity to your rest of your life. So thanks so much for joining me this morning. I hope you come back again Monday, Wednesday, Friday here on Public House Media and in the podcast version. And if you do me a small favor today, if you would hit the share button in the bottom left corner and send this out to your social media world, spread the word about Choose to Rise so more and more people can hear it and can be uplifted and have a positive spin to their day, and start to really focus in on getting to do things in their life instead of having to do things in your life. So have a fabulous Monday, everyone. I hope to see you here next week, and see you all soon. Yes, great job, Denise. Love this book. See you later.